Good morning, guys. Welcome to this Tuesday, December 2nd, 22 days to Christmas. 23 maybe. It depends on how you count it. So you know, so you don't get totally freaked out. Anyway, the market's holding on pretty good. Today is a no news Tuesday. There's no news on the calendar I can see, which is worth mentioning. Some announcements, some settlements, that's about it. Tomorrow, though, we get some more news. Import-export prices, industrial production, PMI, composite, ISM services, all coming out tomorrow. ADP number coming out as well. The first Friday, we're not getting an employment situation, though we got that last week, and that was kind of a partial report. We're not getting anything this Friday. We are supposed to get the personal income number, though, on Friday, so that's going to be an interesting inflation read. But as I said, we'll take it day at a time here. So looking at the ES to get started. Down here, oops, like so. And as you can see, we have a little short days here coming in from last week on Thanksgiving. First day overnight was on the weekend of things. They ran it pretty good to the downside. Yesterday's day session held on pretty good, and so far we only got the reverse retest of the 68.11, the low of yesterday. In the overnight, and now we're back up again. So starting off with a slight bias to the upside almost. As long as they hold above that 6,800, I think I'm going to stay on the long side of this, at least favor the long side. Right now, I would probably emphasize range bound trading until we see them start taking out these upper areas again. Because there are a couple of days now, we traded up here online at the end of November, started off December, holding on to it. They kind of had to show a little bit more conviction here before we start really thinking about the long side in a bigger way. But I could see a little Santa rally starting for sure. So starting off favoring the long side, I would say, primarily range bound. So I would look to sell strength 68 50s, 45 to 50s, 68 55, 68 60, 65s. These three levels of resistance. They're a little bit on the edge. So this is like 61, 62 to 65. This is 55s. This is 46 to 49, almost 50. So we'll say 45s, 55s, 65s or roundabout for the rotations back down. And on the way down, looking to buy against that 6830s, the 68 10 to 15s, the 6800s. Below 6800s, I would start thinking short side of the market a little bit more aggressively. So that's kind of the dynamic we're looking at. Still holding in this range, but this is major area of support now, 6800s. We managed to get up above it. If we can hold here for a day and start extending to the upside, we are going to be on our way on a Santa rally. If they can't, if they're going to back off below it, we'll be back in this lower range, but they've been churning for a while, and we'll see if that's going to turn into anything other than that. If I fold this guy together like that, here's that big distribution of churn, if you wish. After they started backing, they backed off pretty hard, and we were going back and forth. They're churning this area, but as you can see, this general area, the 6800, is the one to hold if you want to be able to take this higher. So looking to trade primarily range band. I would favor the long side. In other words, if I see early weakness, I would favor to buy that 6830s, 68 10 to 15, 6800s for rotations up. There could be something in between here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to try to just avoid making it too crowded. And on the way up, if you start trying to trade higher, looking for short opportunities against that 45, 55, 65s for rotations and back down again. They take out that 60, 65 level on the upside. I think we are well on our way for a little Santa rally. All right, so that's how we get started. Pretty straightforward stuff, I think. The question is really now in beginning of December, are we going to get the Santa rally, or are we going to just going to keep churning back and forth? So that's how we get started on the ES. On the Nasdaq, you see Nasdaq also holding on. they're above this area, the 25 360s, holding that level as well. They got more way, or they got a little bit further to go before we really start getting excited about the long side. I had to kind of get up above this area here, the 25 800s. It's usually it was support on the way down. They're going to be resistance on the way up. When they got into this first area, low volume area, and they did take out that area, close that gap, and they were churned here for a while before we really started to see that it moved to the downside in November. But right now we are back up again, flirting with this level, the 25 500s. That's the lower end of this little distribution, and if they can get up above it, well, at least going to hold in that 25, above that 25.5 to the 25.7 little distribution right there. So Nasdaq is same story there, range bound. I'm going to be looking at this first, this the 360 support area. If that's going to hold or not. So if I fold this, not this guy, but get this guy back out again like this. And here we have that. If I fold that back together, you see it again. Pretty clear support area here at the 350, 360, right at that volume edge. They've been bouncing on the way up. They've been bouncing on the way down. So that's a good area of congestion. They trade below that one. We are right back in this lower range again in this whole sloppy area. So if they hold above it, we have a shot at getting higher. I'm gonna get a little bit more excited by the long side if they can get up above that 25 500s. So we'll see. So early on here, looking to get short against the 495 and the 550s for rotations back down, and that's this lower edge. And on the way down, they're going to buy weakness. I would favor buying weakness, favor the long side to get started at least. But again, the same as the ES, just favoring range-bound tradings it's not like a crazy moving market by any means. Getting close to the holidays, and but I would favor the long side of the market at this point. So I would look to buying opportunities against the 25 430s, the 330s, the 290s for rotations back up, all the way down here to that 25 200s. Now, if they take out that 200s here, we are already pretty well on our way down here. We're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So already below this, the 290, if you see, watch that, the 290 little low volume area right here. We are back below this congestion area. So I would start leaning towards the short side below that 290s. But since we have a pretty good test here at the 200s, I would include that level as well. It could be another level in between here. I mean, you have it on mode here from the fire overnight. Two little edge there. Something here could potentially hold, but I'm going to leave it open and see how that develops. So if we start seeing weakness, I would look to buy against weakness for rotations up. I would look for short opportunities against these two for the first two levels here. But if they take out that upper level, the 550s, I would look for move higher, and we could go pretty far. We get the resistance areas from before here at the 640s, 680s, 700s, 760s. They are here since before, and they may still be good. So we'll leave them for now. So that's how we get started on the ES and Nasdaq. Let's see if we get a start of a Santa rally. Overnight is on the positive side. And as I said, I would start both of them with range bound primarily. I would favor the long side and see if we can get some momentum going. But it feels very much like it could be like a little choppy on the way up here before they start getting some traction. And then finally, bonds. Bonds. Bonds is a good market to trade. It's if you're right, it happens quick. If you're wrong, you get punished right away. It's kind of how it is. It may feel a little bit slow, but that's the bond market for you. So far, we are kind of leaning towards the short side, or the market is kind of grinding lower. We defended the 05s here yesterday. We had a little bit of strength in the overnight up to the 12th, and then after the London close, we took out that low of the 05s, been all the way down here to the 1528. So we are right in that lower edge. And I'm talking about this big lower edge right there. So if that edge comes out, we can see them run all the way down here to that 14 attractor area. That would be the next level down. That could be very well why they're going right now. So if they can't get up above the 116s, I would stay on the short side on the bond, looking for a move right down here to that attractor at the 114s. Could be a pretty good move to the downside. So I would start off on the short side today. Going to be not as aggressive buying weakness. Yesterday, I was looking at buying weakness or buying the move to the downside, and I got caught a couple of times. And that's just how it goes sometimes. But you can see this is pretty much a repricing to the downside. So not much range bound trading. That they kind of run out of gas on the lower end of the range. Kind of unusual that you see days like that, complete beast like that on the bonds. But that just tells you that, okay, maybe they're repricing this to the downside. So staying on the short side, see how far they're going to take this. Key question right now is, are they going to get up about that 1605s and trade above it, or are they going to extend to the downside? And I think this first probe here to take out the 28s, I would be trying to get short and see how far they can take it at that point. So that's the bonds. So starting off with short bias, looking to sell strength at the 1606s, 1612s, rotations down. And if they take out the 28s, we are heading lower for sure. All right, so that's why what we got there. That's pretty much it on the bonds to get started at least. So back to the ES. And right now you see pretty much kind of flopping around where we are. So today, this stuff here, when it looks like this, is just scalping territory. The way I would trade it is, there's not a lot of edge. We are up here at an upper edge. I would look for short opportunities here, but just scalping off the top because the choppiness just makes it hard to go to break even and stick and get a nice move to the downside. They'll run it back up again, shake you out, and then down and back up again. So I would be a little bit more aggressive taking profits when it's choppy like this, and lock in smaller amounts. Get a little bit more round turns on your account, but it's probably adds up better like that way. If you get a good setup and you can stick with it, yeah, I would let it run. But it's more than often you find yourself in a trade, you see it start moving, and then it reverses, and it reverses enough to just shake you out, and that's very frustrating when that happens. Anyway, so that's how we get started. So range bound primarily, favor the long side to get started. Let's see if they can hold support, and even better if they can take out the upper areas of resistance. Alrighty, guys, we'll wrap it there. So good trading, and I will see you back at 11:30 for the next update. Alrighty, guys, and there's no news to drive the market today, so we'll get a good read on how the really sentiment is. Alrighty, guys, see you back at 11:30.